It's getting dark, but I've just got to say that we've been away for 2 holidays. One, we went from this side of the country to that side of the country, and it was only 2 hours drive. Not like you in America where you go from one side to the other, it takes you a good day to get there. We left here at 3 o'clock and got over there at 5, and we stayed on the west coast in a lovely little cottage. And we've never been to the west coast. We've been to the Lake District, which is famous. It's a really beautiful national park, and we'll have to drive through it. We decided we'd have a 4-day holiday over there. We booked last minute, and we got this beautiful little cottage, and it was in a town, well, not a town, in a village called Allenby. Never heard of Allenby before, never been across the west side of the coast of that area. The east side is well known, where we go for our holidays, up in the next county up, because that's where I come from, and the beaches are beautiful beaches. We've been to Dumfries, which was a lovely area, but you just think it was a building site. The beaches are full of great big massive boulders. And this one, we decided we'd go to see what this part of England was like. And it was lovely. It's kind of untouched. It hasn't seen a great deal of tourism. The beaches are really nice. There was not much. We struggled to find a restaurant. We got there, and it was a very nice place. I'll do a little video to show you what the house was like. And the village that we were in was unusual. It was very higgledy-piggledy with... It reminded me of cowboys, where the houses, cowboys and Indians, where they used to put the wagons round in a circle so that they could protect themselves. And this is a bit like that. The houses are all back to back. They're in a cube and they're back to back. The only thing what we found was, we were looking for a restaurant. He decided he didn't want to make anything. He said, we're not cooking. He said, we're going to eat out. But could we find anywhere to eat out? And we decided on one occasion, we went up to Silloth, and Silloth is a beautiful place. But there wasn't a town, there's a town centre, but it was a weird town centre. It didn't seem, not like a shopping precinct. It was just as if somebody had a terraced house and decided to open a shop in it, and then a few houses down another one. But it was a lovely place, Silloth. And so I happened to be looking on my phone, and it said this garden centre had got good grades, good star rating for food. So I said, we'll go to that garden centre. Well, when we got there, we were confronted by a turkey walking around in the garden centre. And the garden centre was, when you go to some garden centres, they've got concrete flooring, but this was a mud flooring. And the doors were open, and there's this turkey going around. And as I walked in, cage after cage after cage after cage after cage after cage was filled with birds. There were parrots. There was parrot, white doves, 2 white doves, 2 more parrots. Then when you went round the corner, there were rabbits. There was a weasel, or was it a ferret? A ferret. There were 2 crows in a cage, and I can't remember what else there were. There were some weird animals in cages. And then the lady came in, she was from outside the building, and she came in, and I said, you've got a lot of animals. I said, is it a sanctuary? Because it looked like it was a rescue centre. Some of them had funny things wrong with them, and you could tell they were well looked after, but it was a really strange place. And she said, yes, it's an animal sanctuary. She says, we don't have the garden centre anymore since before lockdown, and we're an animal sanctuary. And so we went outside, and in the outside there was all sorts of other animals. There was ducks, there was seagulls, there were swans, there was donkeys, there was sheep, and I just put a little snippet up of what we saw. And I just felt we had to there was little donation boxes, so we donated to them. But we didn't get our meal, but we actually enjoyed looking at all these animals and seeing how it made you see just how, I mean, there was some with broken wings and all sorts, you know, but they were well looked after. And then we also went to, where else did we go to? We went to Cockermouth, which is very memorable, because Cockermouth experienced a lot of floods, and the people in Cockermouth, one side of the town, in order to go to the other side, normally they crossed a bridge. The bridge was brought down, and they had to do a big few miles trek to get from one side of the town to the other until they rebuilt the bridge. And I always thought Cockermouth was at the mouth of the river, but it's not. It's bang in the middle of this area. So we thoroughly enjoyed a walk around there. We enjoyed Silloth. We went to Maryport, another one where sadly they're little towns, and sadly I think online buying has knocked a lot of business out, made a lot of businesses have to close, and COVID lockdown, I think that just made it worse. However, Maryport has potential, but it's a bit of a rundown place. I have to say that, I'm sorry. So we went to Maryport, and we thought it was all, you know, Maryport's not, the harbour's nice, not so sure about the town, but we drove round Maryport, the top end where the posh houses were. It was very nice.
apparently on a good day you can see the Isle of Man, but I don't know which direction that is. And the hills over there is Scotland. And up there is the estuary. And last night when we came, the water was very brown because obviously it's bringing the silt down from the estuary because it was high tide. And then this is the village of Allenby, which apparently was a Quaker village, and that was a Quaker house, Quaker, what do you call it, Brian? A Quaker something house that they made, and it's now been converted into a proper residence. And this is the village. That there used to be, that one there used to be the baths. Now no longer, it's a residence. And we are in this little block here, just round the corner. It's a funny little setup where they just do a little bunch of houses all together. And then they've got another bunch of houses all together down there. Very strange. But the countryside is beautiful. Well, this is the beach. Very dark sand. And obviously because it's dark because of the silt that comes down from the washed down from the river. But apparently it's one of the better beaches on the west side.
It's actually a hippie beach.
A hippie beach, why?
Yeah, well, if you look, you see it's stoned.
Oh God. And there's a little example of what everybody's doing on these beaches where there are stones. I'm not sure if I'm focusing there. You pile your stones on top of each other. Up in Whitley Bay, they had a session where all the families during lockdown came down to the beach and they piled the stones on top of each other, and the whole beach was covered in stones. I'll put a little picture up to let you see what it looked like. Tide is out. And I don't know what that town is there, but that's in Scotland. So I need to go and find out. And I'll let you know where that is.
You can sit on the bench though.
No, a little seat, memorial seat, and there's one over there, just overlooking the sea. Is further up the coast to Sillith, and across there you can see Scotland, and this is the Solway Firth estuary, and the tide is out, and you can see, and on the edge here, this is the edge of the town of Sillith. Very, very nice place. This is something you don't see very often in towns. Cobbled roads. Scylla still has cobbled roads. Look, he's going back into there. He's going back. No, it's not. He's flying round. That one's lost its horn. Got like a chicken. Put a hen or a chicken in there. And then come back. Look at your feet. Where's your mummy and daddy? Come on, come on. Where's the rest of the sheep? Can you see any sheep? This is a really big sheep. She's actually the size of a, the size of a Shetland pony nearly. I don't know where she's come from because she's on the side of the road. And I can't see a sheep anywhere. Oh yes I can, right up there. Right up there. So she's obviously managed to escape from the flock. Can you see them right up there? Yes, there. I think that's a sheep up there. And there. I may be wrong. But this little one here is enjoying the green grass that you can't get from the other side of the road. Gorgeous. That's the wool that's on the sampler in the house that we're stopping in. And we've got, it's a wet day today, quite wet and quite damp, so the clouds are low. You can see the clouds are quite low, but the sun's trying to break through. It's not planned for it to be a sunny day. The sun's trying to break through, and this is absolutely gorgeous.
And so we've had a lovely time. Then we came back and we decided we would go, oh no, I'd booked at the start of this year to go down to see my daughter in Hazelmere, which is down south of Guildford. Those of you who know it. And I kept saying to his lordship, should we go on the train or should we drive down? And he said, no, we'll drive down. Well, it's a 5-hour journey and it is a long journey. And of course, when we were driving down, she said, Mum, I booked a meal for us on the Friday night. And I think there'd been a mix-up. She'd accidentally booked it twice, so she rang them up and told them to cancel one. So they cancelled one and she cancelled the other, I think, somehow or other. And when she went to check, there wasn't a booking. So they said we could go, but we had to be there for 5:30. So we had to, when we arrived, she said, if you can get there in time, she said, we're going on the train from Hazelmere to Guildford and we'll go to this restaurant. So we were really cutting it fine because there were so many accidents on the road, so many hold-ups. We set off at 9 o'clock and we didn't get there till 20 to 5. Had to rush into the hotel. We were stopping in a hotel because their house is not greatly big. And they've all got their own, there's only 3 bedrooms and all of them got their own bedroom. We didn't want to kick anybody out and we felt we'd enjoy a hotel. So we rushed put the bags in the hotel room. He quickly got changed. I quickly got changed. Well, I didn't actually. I just said, I've got time. And then we went and got on the train and we went for a meal. And I have to say, it was absolutely wonderful. So if any of you who live down there have been to the Ivy in Guildford, it is, I know why you go there, and anyone who hasn't been there, you got to make sure you got plenty in your purse because it's not cheap, but by golly, it was absolutely wonderful. And they actually, the lady who served us, the waitress who served us, asked why. She said, is there a reason you've come here? And my daughter said, well, it's because I haven't seen my mum for a long time. She hasn't been down here for ages. And she said, plus she says, we missed her 70th birthday with lockdown. Well, this lady picked up on that. And when I got my pudding was a sticky toffee pudding, and she'd put a little chocolate thing saying happy birthday on it. So I thought that was really, really nice. And we had a wonderful evening. Then the next day we went out for a walk around the town of Hazelmere, visited the museum, and then we had lunch in a cafe outside. It was full, the cafe, so we sat outside. We didn't mind the cold, but I think they found it a bit cold. We're from further up north, so we're used to the cold. And then on the son made the evening meal on the Saturday night, and the son-in-law made the evening meal on the Saturday night, and he made the Sunday dinner on the Sunday. And Sunday morning we invited the 2 grandchildren to come for breakfast with us. So we had a cooked breakfast in the hotel with the 2 girls, and they thoroughly enjoyed it. And so that was our 2 trips away, one to the west coast and one to the south. And so there, I hope you've enjoyed that. And I will, what am I going to do? I'm going to love you, and I'm going to leave you, and I'm catching you next time.